What if intelligence isn't the gift we think it is? What if being smart, deeply self-aware, analytical, perceptive, doesn't lead to happiness but instead amplifies suffering? In a world obsessed with intellect, with logic and achievement, we rarely stop to ask, what happens to those who understand everything, except how to stop hurting? There's a silent epidemic growing behind closed doors and clever smiles. The emotionally broken intelligent. These are the people who can map out the philosophical implications of free will. They can deconstruct social systems, detect manipulation in a heartbeat, and recognize every childhood trauma as it resurfaces in adulthood. But none of that saves them from waking up in pain. If anything, it makes the pain harder to bear. Because when you can see everything, you can't lie to yourself. And when you can't lie to yourself, you can't escape the truth. That's the paradox. Intelligence gives you clarity, but clarity without emotional resilience becomes a curse. Consider this. In Greek mythology, Cassandra was blessed with the gift of prophecy, but cursed never to be believed. She saw the fall of Troy before it happened. She warned her people, but no one listened. Many emotionally broken, intelligent people carry a similar curse, not that no one believes them, but that they can't believe in anything that might save them. They see through comforting illusions. They see the mechanics behind love, the cost-benefit analysis behind relationships, the evolutionary psychology behind behavior. They see that nothing is pure, that even kindness has a motive, that everything is conditional. They often carry wounds that logic can't soothe. Imagine being 10 years old and realizing your parents aren't just flawed, they're broken in ways that broke you. Imagine realizing this at an age when you still believe in Santa Claus. That's the kind of early awakening many of these people experience. It's not intelligence in the academic sense. It's not about test scores or college degrees. It's existential intelligence. The kind that notices patterns. The kind that sees too much, too soon. And with that awareness often comes hypervigilance. The emotionally broken intelligent learn to predict emotional storms before they happen. They analyze every expression, every tone, every shift in energy in the room. They become masters of perception because survival depends on it. But when your mind is constantly scanning for threat, you never truly rest. Even in moments of peace, there's a low hum of dread, a feeling that the other shoe is about to drop, that any connection you build will inevitably crumble, that even joy is suspicious. Some might say, but can't they just go to therapy? Yes, and many do. But therapy isn't a magic wand. And here's the catch. Most of them already know what the therapist is going to say. They can trace their behaviors back to childhood. They understand attachment styles, cognitive distortions, defense mechanisms. They've read the books, watched the lectures. What they don't know is how to feel safe in a world they've already dissected to the bone. They don't trust happiness because it feels like a setup. They don't trust love because they know how quickly it can turn cold. They don't trust themselves because even their self-awareness has become a weapon. And this isn't rare. It's happening everywhere. To the quiet student who never speaks but writes poetry that reads like a cry for help. To the high-performing executive who excels at work but feels hollow at home. To the artist whose genius is fueled by anguish. To the philosopher who questions everything except why they still feel so alone. Carl Jung once said, "A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them." Many emotionally broken, intelligent people are stuck in that inferno. They live there, and yet they keep functioning. They smile. They perform. They give advice that heals others while quietly decaying themselves. They've mastered the art of appearing okay. But you can't heal what you won't let anyone see. You can't repair what you've intellectualized into oblivion. Because at some point, introspection becomes a trap, a loop of thoughts, an endless mirror reflecting pain back at itself. And when everything is a theory, even love becomes an equation. So where does this leave us? How do we heal what is too aware to be comforted by cliches? First, we stop pretending that intelligence equals immunity, that just because someone can explain their trauma, they've somehow overcome it. Insight isn't healing. It's a door. Healing is what happens when you walk through it. And walking through it means embracing something terrifying to the hyper-intellectual. Emotion. Raw, illogical, messy emotion. The kind that doesn't make sense on paper. The kind that can't be fixed with a framework. The kind that demands vulnerability, not analysis. There's a reason the phrase emotional intelligence exists, because cognitive intelligence without emotional grounding is like a computer with no operating system. Brilliant, but cold. Precise, but lifeless. Real healing begins not with understanding why we hurt, but allowing ourselves to feel the hurt, to cry without narrating it, to rage without intellectualizing it, to admit I am not okay without adding, but I understand why. The emotionally broken intelligent need spaces where it's safe to be irrational, to be scared, to be held, not studied. Because healing doesn't happen in the mind, it happens in the nervous system, in the body, in the places intellect can't touch. And that's the hardest lesson of all, to the ones who understand everything except how to stop hurting. This isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a different kind of wisdom. One that includes the body, the breath, the brokenness. One that recognizes intelligence as a tool, not a shield. There's a soft strength in surrender, in letting go of the need to know everything, in allowing yourself to be held by something greater than logic, whether that's faith or love or the quiet presence of someone who sees your pain and stays anyway. In a world that rewards intellect, it takes courage to feel. Real courage, the kind that can't be measured by IQ or accolades. So if you're someone who resonates with this, who walks through life with eyes too open and a heart too heavy, know this: you are not alone. You are not broken beyond repair. You are simply too awake to be comforted by illusions. And that's not a flaw. That's a different kind of strength. But even the strong need rest. Even the brilliant need gentleness. And even you, with all your insight and sharpness and knowing, deserve peace. Maybe not the kind that comes from understanding, but the kind that comes from being understood. If this spoke to you, if it made you feel seen or less alone, don't just click away and move on with your day. Take a breath. Let this land. And if you're still searching for that peace, that soft place to land, let's keep this conversation going. Like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. What do you do when knowing everything isn't enough? Maybe it starts here.